In daily life, homes and small buildings usually receive single-phase supply. But when we move towards industries, large machines, and heavy loads, three-phase power becomes the natural choice. To understand why this happens, we must slowly build the idea starting from the very basics, without assuming any prior technical knowledge. The foundation of all generators is Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. This is a magnet. Each magnet has two ends, called the North Pole and the South Pole, and around it there is an invisible magnetic field that can attract or repel certain materials. Magnetic flux simply tells us how much magnetic field is passing through a given area or surface, or how strongly a magnetic field crosses or cuts through a region. Now, Faraday's law simply says that whenever the magnetic flux linked with a coil changes with time, a voltage gets induced across that coil. In simple words, if a conductor is placed in a magnetic field and either the magnetic field moves or the conductor itself moves or rotates, electricity is produced. The amount of voltage produced depends entirely on how much magnetic flux is linked with the coil at that moment. More flux means more voltage, and less flux means less voltage. Now, imagine a very simple generator. There is one permanent magnet creating a magnetic field, and near it we place one fixed coil of wire with two terminals connected to a bulb. Now we rotate the magnet using some external source like a turbine or a motor. As the magnet rotates, the magnetic field around the fixed coil keeps changing continuously. Because of this change, the magnetic flux passing through the coil also keeps changing with time. When the magnet is in a position such that the magnetic field passes through the coil most strongly, the magnetic flux linked with the coil is maximum. At this instant, the voltage induced across the coil is also maximum. When the magnet rotates by 90 degrees, the magnetic field cuts the coil very weakly, so the magnetic flux becomes minimum, and the induced voltage becomes zero. As the magnet continues to rotate further, the direction of the magnetic field cutting the coil reverses. Due to this reversal, the polarity of the induced voltage also reverses. This process keeps repeating again and again as the magnet keeps rotating continuously. If we observe how the induced voltage changes with time, we see that it smoothly increases from 0 to a maximum value, then smoothly decreases back to 0, then rises again in the opposite direction, reaches a maximum, and finally returns to 0. This smooth and continuous rise and fall of voltage forms a sinusoidal shape, which can be a sine wave or a cosine wave depending on the starting position. That is why alternating current supply is represented by a sinusoidal wave. With this understanding of how alternating voltage is produced, we can now move towards understanding single-phase power. A single-phase generator has one winding, which means one coil with two terminals. When the magnet rotates inside the generator, a sinusoidal voltage is induced across these terminals. If we connect a simple load across these terminals, say a resistor, then current starts flowing. In this case, the voltage and current are in phase with each other, which means they rise and fall together. They start at the same time, reach their maximum at the same time, and become zero at the same time. This condition is called in-phase operation. Now, power at any instant is obtained by multiplying voltage and current. When we look at how power changes with time in a single-phase system, we see that the power does not remain constant. It rises to a maximum value and then falls back to 0 twice in every cycle. Even though the peak power is quite high, the average power delivered over time is only half of that peak value. This means that a single-phase system does not supply power smoothly. The output power keeps pulsating, which is not ideal for heavy machines. To improve this situation, engineers thought of adding another winding. In a two-phase system, two identical windings are placed inside the generator, but they are positioned at 90 degrees, with respect to each other. Now, when we rotate the coil, the voltages induced in these two windings do not reach their maximum values at the same time. When one winding produces maximum voltage, the other produces almost zero voltage. As the rotor turns further, their roles interchange. The two voltages are said to be out of phase by 90 degrees. If identical loads or resistors are connected to both windings, the currents in them also remain in phase with their respective voltages, and hence are out of phase with each other by 90 degrees. When we calculate the instantaneous power of each phase and then add them together, something remarkable happens. When the power from one phase becomes zero, the power from the other phase becomes maximum. As a result, the total power delivered by the two-phase system remains constant at all times. This is a major improvement over single-phase power because the load now receives smooth and uninterrupted power. Taking this idea one step further leads us to three-phase power. In a three-phase generator, as you might have guessed, three identical windings are placed inside the machine, in a symmetric way such that each terminal is separated by 120 degrees from the others. As the magnetic field rotates, equal voltages are induced in all three windings, but each voltage reaches its peak at a different time, separated by 120 degrees phase. First winding reaches its maximum. Then, after 120 degrees, the second winding reaches its maximum, and after another 120 degrees, the third winding reaches its maximum. When identical resistors are connected to all three phases, the currents flow in the same pattern as their respective voltages. Each current is in phase with its own voltage, but out of phase with the others by 120 degrees. If we now calculate the instantaneous power in each phase and add all three together, the result is even better. The total power output remains constant at every instant, and the average power becomes 1.5 times the maximum power of a single phase. This means more power, smoother delivery, and better efficiency, without increasing the peak stress on any single winding. This is the main reason why three-phase power is preferred in generators, transmission systems, and industrial machines. Okay, now let me know in the comments. If increasing the number of phases increases the power value, then why do we not use 4, 5, 6, or even higher phase systems? Like, share, and subscribe. So good.